Hello and welcome to Western Cinema presents The Left-Handed Gun with Paul Newman. This film is from 1958, I believe. I don't have a synopsis for you. If this is your first time here visiting Western Cinema Presents, this is a live broadcast, a live viewing, uh, but we cannot actually show these films here on YouTube due to copyright law because the studios and they own all the rights, and we're not a major network, so we can't show you. But we do
As
provide a secondary site where you can view the film along with us live.
right, as much as we would love to show you these movies on screen, and there will be times every once in a while where we will be able to do that. However,
Yes.
with this particular film, it is still under copyright, so we will not be able to show it live unless you join us
Yeah.
either on Cosme, and the Cosme link is up in both chats, and or if you have your own personal copy
Mm-hmm.
or have access to one, you can also watch that way as well.
Yeah. So, have you seen this movie before, Deleted Scenes?
I have not, but of course, this is a story that is uh, well known to a number of people. This
Yeah.
is about a biography of Billy the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
A movie. This is a subject matter that has been often filmed and written about over the years,
Oh yeah.
and is very much the stuff of legend. I have not seen this particular version, but I'm looking forward to it. It's got a strong star in Paul Newman. Um, this is one of his earlier films. You have directed by Arthur Penn, who was very well known during his time, and even directed movies up into the 90s. So yeah, um, so we've got two legends of Hollywood at the beginning of their careers here.
Yep. All right. Well, let me load up the screening room. If you follow us along over there, I will, and we'll get this show on the road.
Mhm. And of course, hit the like, share out the stream. If you are new to the channel, to both our channels, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications. This is a weekly program that we do every Sunday at this time. So if you're a fan of westerns, you've come to the right place. And of course, as you can hear, that's our little pal Brady in
Yeah.
the background, who you will be hearing from time to time. I also want to remind everyone that there will be a special Thanksgiving edition of another program that we do here on the channel, Action Theater. And we are going to be watching Sisu, the Finnish action movie from earlier this year. I'm sure you've all heard of this film. It's a very good one. It's kind of like a World War II Finnish John Wick. It's a lot of fun. Um, that film's about an ex-commando who has gone into gold mining. He actually finds some of the golden stuff, and turns out he is 500 miles away from the nearest bank. And between him there is a column of Nazis heading the other way, and they meet in the middle, and don't get along exactly well, and carnage ensues. So yeah. But today's film is from, as we said, 1958, The Left-Handed Gun. Paul, runtime is an hour and 42 minutes. James Best, Enos,
Yep.
Denver Pyle.
And this is one that's actually black and white, not color, not the colorized version. I kind of like movies when they are in black and white.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, obviously, this is Billy arriving in Lincoln,
Mm-hmm.
on the run, down on his luck. It was first meeting with John Tunstall, the rancher who takes him in. And hello, Lady V. Elements.
Hello, Lady V. Welcome. I recognize that actor there. He was in Hooper with Tom, um, Burt Reynolds.
Mhm. James West was also in Dukes of Hazzard. And he's also in an independent Western called Paradise Falls that I think was about probably about 20 years ago now. Pretty good one if you can find it.
Mm. Hello, Connie Kellerly. Welcome. We just got underway.
Hello, Connie. Come and join us in the Cosby Room. The movie's about a few minutes in. The Left-Handed Gun. Paul Newman is Billy the Kid. That you see this as Tunstall being a father figure to Billy, something he's never really had.
Ambush! Ambush! But this is a very brilliant performance by Mr. Newman. Do you know deleted scenes? Do you know what that the machine is in there? Is that a? I want to say it's a phonograph, but I don't think it is. It's something else.
It's something along those lines. Yeah. There's another name for it, but I'm blanking out on it right now. Hmm. Now we got the introduction there in the previous scene of Pat Garrett, played by John Denner, and who is a character actor. Also did a lot of westerns and a lot of television. Of course, Billy and Pat Garrett did start out as friends. They were very much on the same side of this situation, but something kind of happens later on that splits up the friendship.
The horny toad. People actually have horny toads as pets. But they're not actually toads. They're lizards.
Ah, now, Governor Lew Wallace was also known for writing the book that Ben-Hur came from.
Hmm.
Yeah, true story. I had a copy of it at one point. Question in the chat: any of y'all speak Spanish? No, not really.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Been meaning to learn, but just haven't yet.
So refresh my memory. Who's Dandy Man over here?
Who what?
The guy in the middle.
Very it looks familiar. I can't place it right now.
No, I mean, who is he in the movie? I missed the intro, I guess.
Oh.
Hmm.
I this is reminiscence of Young Guns.
Mhm.
So he must be like a bounty hunter or something. I won't trust him. Hello, Lady Miss.
Yes, hello, Lady Miss. Good to see you.
Yep, that's acting like a deputy. Yep, Lady V and Misty be considered gone. No, I don't think they would hold up honor it anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, ADV. I don't think it was Billy's fault as much as it was the other guy. Bye, Tom. I think you're right, Lady B. At the end of Charlie.
It's Friday. I'm in love. And you are
Yeah.
suddenly in our lives. Oh,
Oh, she wants him. Lady B.
are you the one they call the Spaniard? Oh, wait, wrong movie. Bye, Bill.
Shot him right out of his boot.
Yep. And Garrett is closing in.
Watch what you say, boy.
Believe it or not, yes.
Yep, she did warn him, Lady V. She already told you, get out. No more fun fast, Lady V says. Yeah. Oh yeah, like that's gonna work. Yeah, they died. They died well in the back in them days. And there you have it. There's the left-handed gun.
Left-handed gun, 1958.
Yeah.
Released March 17th, 1958. Budget estimated at $700,000, and it grossed $5 million. No, $5K, whichever.
Better than any Marvel's movies out in theaters today.
Currently. Yeah. All right, let's get to some. Let's get to some trivia here. This was the first movie directed by Arthur Penn. And it was also the first movie of its producer, Fred Coe. Paul Newman was widely felt to be miscast as Billy the Kid. He was 33 at the time. And Billy is 18 in the film. So that's actually nothing new. 30-year-olds are still getting cast as teenagers in films and TV to this day. All right. John Henry Tunstall, was an English immigrant murdered in 1878, aged 24 or 25 at the time of death, under circumstances very similar to those portrayed in the film. However, in this and in every other film in which there's a portrayal of Tunstall, who's referred to as Henry Tunstall in Chisholm, which is another movie we've seen, or John Tunstall in Young Guns. Not only is a different version of Tunstall's name used, but the actors portraying the Tunstall character have been double or more the age of the real-life Tunstall at the time of his death. At the time of the production of this film, Colin Keith Johnston was 61 years old. At the time of production of Chisholm, Patrick Knowles was 58. And at the time of the production of Young Guns, Terrence Stamp was 49. I didn't know the real Tunstall was that young.
Yeah.
Wow. Because he's always depicted as being this kind of older father figure type, when in reality, he was really only like about 5 or 6 years older than the kid.
There were some strong similarities between this movie and both Young Guns films. I can
for
clearly see it.
James Dean was originally cast to play Billy in this film, but of course passed before filming started. This film contains the first ever shooting of a character in slow motion in a U.S. movie. And as I explained, or as I tried to explain earlier before my eyesight died on me there, this movie was a flop at the box office. It was the budget was $700,000 and only made $5 million. So yeah, it was pretty much the Marvels of its day, which is too bad, because this is actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
But it had people involved in it who at the time weren't names. Paul Newman wasn't Paul Newman yet. It was Arthur Penn's first movie. It was kind of a very early project of a lot of people involved. And here's what might have been the reason for that. Warner Brothers reportedly interfered with the production. Where have we heard that one before, folks?
Wow, I wonder.
And would not allow Penn to shoot the ending he wanted. In addition, the director was cut out of the editing process. So there's a lot of studio interference with this movie.
Yeah.
All right. Arthur Penn had strong differences with J. Peveril Marley, the veteran Warner Brothers cameraman assigned to the film by the studio, and was generally unhappy with the way the film turned out and with Hollywood. He was paid a total of $17,000 for directing the film, his debut in cinema. He did not make another film for 4 years. The cast includes 2 members of the TV show Dukes of Hazzard. James Best, who played Tommy and played Roscoe P. Coltrane. I said he played Enos earlier. He actually played Roscoe. I always get them backwards.
Yeah.
He was Sheriff Coltrane, yeah. But there was a Deputy Enos. I just don't remember who played Enos. My bad. It's been over 40 years. I don't remember. I remember Daisy in the car. That's all I freaking remember. And Denver Pyle, who played Deputy Ollinger, of course, was Uncle Jesse. Paul Newman visited a psychiatrist during the production of the movie, not for the role, but because of the genuine pain that was accompanying the dissolution of his first marriage. So he's going through a divorce while this movie was being made. So that can distract your ass.
Yeah.
While Paul Newman received good reviews for his work in this film, he was nevertheless considered too old to convincingly play Billy the Kid. Yeah, he does not look 33, but I figured he was maybe like mid or late 20s. He is, he was maybe a little too old to be playing the character, but I don't think Emilio Estevez was all that much younger, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, let me All right, the sets for the town of Madero were actually left over from Warner's 1939 epic Juarez. Although they were in a state of great disrepair, parts of them were salvaged to use for this film. Interestingly, the title of this movie promotes a common misconception that was proved untrue in 1986. 2 almost identical tintypes of Billy the Kid were taken at the same time in 1880. The original of one tintype disappeared years ago. The second original tintype was preserved for years in the Sam Diedrich family and came to light in 1986. Since tintypes were reversed images, the picture from the first tintype led to the myth that Billy was left-handed. After the second tintype came to life, the reverse engine. Sorry, I can't speak today. My tongue is numb. My tongue is numb. I think, okay. After the second tintype came to light, the reversed image was reversed to show the kid as he actually posed, with a Winchester carbine in the left hand and his holstered Colt single action on his right hip. See Robert M. Utley's Billy the Kid, A Short and Violent Life, University of Nebraska Press, 1989. The statement is found following page 110 alongside the picture of Billy the Kid. So he might not have actually been left-handed for real, folks. Gore Vidal greatly disliked this well-received film version of his television play, The Death of Billy the Kid, once describing it as a film only someone French would like. That's not a compliment, by the way. He was greatly annoyed when director Arthur Penn expressed criticism of his original script and brought in Leslie Stevens for the rewrites. In 1990, the movie Billy the Kid was made, not only as a remake of this film, but as a rebuttal of it, written and largely controlled by Vidal himself. He declared himself pleased with it, but the 1958 film remains better known. I have seen that movie. It stars Val Kilmer as the kid, and it was on TNT, I believe. I don't remember it being that great, but in comparison to Billy the Kid movies, it's okay. Let's see. Got to refresh here a moment. This is all on IMDb Pro, by the way, is where I'm getting this information from. Let me see. And that's it. So we're good.
Excellent.
Yeah. I didn't think the movie was that bad.
Yeah.
It gets as far as historical accuracy and in the kind of order of certain events, it fudges some things, sure. But then again, one of the things that I think the trivia is pretty good at bringing up is that, how much of the whole story of Billy the Kid and the Lincoln County War and the aftermath of that, how much of it is Hollywood? How much of it is sort of the pulp fiction of today, and how much of it was reality? And it kind of really depends on where you look. Now I'm if whether or not Pat Garrett really did kill the kid unarmed, or if you believe the Brushy Bill Roberts story that he was the kid and Garrett let him go. I mean, we're never really going to know. Only the people who were there really know what happened.
Yeah.
Did the kid really kill all of the people that it said he killed? It said that he killed up to 21 people. How much of that is true? I don't know. He certainly killed the guy who went after his mother. I don't think anybody would have blamed him for that.
Yeah.
He did kill Brady and Morton. That's confirmed. But if he actually killed anyone else past that's speculation, it's like Lady V says in the chat, historically, I'm sure different people had different opinions. Exactly, some details get distorted and exaggerated for the name of fame. Highly debatable. Yeah. I mean, so my advice for anybody who wants to kind of go in and research the Lincoln County War and I mean, Murphy had Tunstall killed. He's straight up.
Yeah.
He had McSween killed. Again, that's not to debate. That happened. Murphy's not really depicted in this movie past a couple of scenes. He kind of disappears from the film. And his hands were not clean either. Nobody involved with it. Their hands were not clean. You had you have a businessman who had his rival killed, who may have been paying off politicians to cover for him. There's rumors Murphy had the president in his pocket, Rutherford B. Hayes. Whether or not his corruption went up that high, again, debatable. it's not something we're ever really going to know. But he did have his rival killed. He certainly paid off Brady, who was corrupt. This is all. This is stuff that you can look up. You had two sides of an equation. You had men like Murphy and Brady, and you had men like Billy the Kid, who went off half cocked and went after these guys, and then you got like, it's all a matter of who to blame. And they even have the line in Young Guns, which I was glad that they put in there, was, hey, the Kid killing Brady started the war, and no, Murphy killing Tunstall started the war.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on which side of the equation you were on, because you had, these two opposing sides accusing each other, and there's no law in town because the sheriff's corrupt. Which is how Garrett ended up getting kind of blackmailed into it, really. And because that's true. I mean, he and the Kid were friends. But somewhere along the way that changed. Now, because Garrett either got blackmailed into it, as some say, or Garrett just felt the Kid went too far. Again, it kind of depends on which book you read, or whose side of the story you tend to believe. But if you want to talk about some pretty fascinating Old West stories, the Lincoln County War is really something to look into.
Yeah.
And Lady V says in the comments, history is only told by the victorious. But the way I see this, nobody really won.
Yeah.
Everybody in the end ended up dead, including Garrett. So even though this movie doesn't show that, he walks off into the sunset with his wife, but that's not where it ended for him. He ended up getting killed eventually over this whole thing too. So yeah,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this film was highly romanticized in a way, and I think it had like a G rating. Don't remember the rating was, but the fact that it shows the way they made those type of films back then. They didn't show blood, they didn't show the wounds. Those came in other variations of the Western genre.
Yeah, it's not an overly graphic film. It would probably be like a PG or maybe like a soft PG-13 now. But yeah, like I said, there are plenty of books on the subject. Go seek it out. Obviously, plenty of films. And the Gore Vidal stage play, which got made into the Billy the Kid movie with Val Kilmer in it. And which I had actually forgotten about until it got brought up into that trivia there. And oh yeah, I did see that, And if I remember correctly, that came out around the time Young Guns 2 did. I think it was the same. I think they were both the same year. So, yeah. All right. So anything coming up, Bill?
Nothing.
Well,
just Wednesday's showing of Sisu.
Yes.
Oh, and since I moved the my member stream to Tuesday because I wasn't feeling so hot on Friday, That's what I got coming up. Yeah, next week, the Guns of the Magnificent Seven, 1969.
Okay. All right. Let's go to. We shall consult the scrolls. I know I have a copy of Guns of Magnificent Seven around here somewhere. All right. Just simply allow me to pick up the laptop. Hello, folks. Good to see you. Guns of the Magnificent Seven. This is the third in the Magnificent Seven films. We have seen the first two, which was, of course, the Magnificent Seven and the Return of the Seven, both with Yul Brynner. And we watched the 2016. It was 2016, right?
Yeah,
remake.
Yeah,
with
the remake.
Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Guns of the Magnificent Seven, right here, the third in the series. Yul Brynner is not in this film, but his character is, and he's played by George Kennedy. And it's actually a pretty decent film. James Whitmore is in it. Joe Don Baker, Bernie Casey. It's a pretty decent watch, and it's got about the same runtime as today's film, an hour and 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you like the Magnificent Seven films, we got another one coming. And of course, there's still one after that.
Yeah, that was 1970, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Which is there is
71?
the fourth one coming up. Let me see, 69. Guns of the Magnificent Seven is 69. So, and then the fourth movie was in 72.
Yeah, as old as I am.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, was eventually the series, which was on CBS.
The fourth one is Magnificent Ride.
Yep. Which is the fourth one, which I have right here, where Lee Van Cleef plays Chris. So yeah.
So what's coming up tonight for an Unscripted and The Other Side of Midnight?
Okay, Unscripted will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be episode 40, entitled The End of the Affair, and it's going to be my final word on Marvel Studios. And it's I did an episode a while back called The Legendary Divorce, which was all about why I kicked Star Wars to the curb, after being a lifetime fan. Yeah. And this is going to kind of be kind of the same thing. Now, I have been accused in chats by a couple of people as saying, oh, this is just going to be another hit piece for clickbait. No, actually, it's not. I'm not denigrating the old school comics in any way. It's not going to be about that. This is going to be expressly about Phase 4 and Phase 5. I'm talking about the films. And that's really it. It's not intended to be a hit piece against Marvel or necessarily any actors. I'm not going to go on and talk smack about Brie Larson or anything. It's not going to be about her. It's just going to be my opinion on, the films themselves and how badly they're being advertised. And anyway, you'll see. So, and it's not going to be what the whole show is going to be about. it's going to be like the first 20 minutes, and then I'm going to move on to other things. But that's going to be kind of like the main topic. Unscripted is the precursor to Geeky Geezers, which is on Aged Boomers channel. And that's going to be kind of a week in review. They're going to talk about gaming, and there's going to be some Disney content. I don't know what all they're going to be talking about because they don't post it until the day. But so catch that at 9:00 over on Aged Boomers channel. And then, get yourself a beverage, get a snack, and join me over on my channel for The Other Side of Midnight. That's at 12:05 a.m. And Sin's Corner is going to return to join me as this week's guest. And we're going to talk about the state of film. I'm going to ask her if she thinks, about something that she liked that she thinks maybe went under the radar, and basically we're just going to take the conversation wherever it goes, because it's kind of it's more of a chill stream show. As you know, Bill's been on that show several times, and we're going to relax and kind of have fun with it. It's, Unscripted is the show where I get to rant. The Other Side of Midnight, I get to have fun. So that's what we're going to do there. Also, Tuesday is episode 5 of Live from Sparkwood in 21, which is my new series, and it is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series. Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer are going to be joining me for that, and that's at 8:30. And then, of course, there's your, let me see. You move that to Tuesday? Right. Yeah. That will be, of course, after your member stream, which is at 4:30. So, unless you've changed the time. And then, of course, on Thanksgiving on the 23rd at 3 is the Sisu Watch Party.
Yep.
With that Bill is hosting, and I'll be simulcasting. So yeah. So that's where we're going to be.
Cool beans.
Indeed. And of course, thank you to the chat. Lady V Elements, enjoy your dinner. Yes. Lady Mist was here.
Lady Mist, take care.
Connie Cleary. Let me scroll up here real quick here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I knew we had people who are lurking in the background in both chats. That's perfectly fine.
Yep.
You don't have to engage with the chat, just as long as you enjoyed the show. Mm-hmm. And this show's a pretty successful one.
Yeah.
It's become kind of a fan favorite on both our channels. People are looking forward to it. And this is, I believe, like the 56th or 57th episode that I've been involved with. I want to once again thank Bill for, inviting me on this show. And it's one that I have fun doing.
Yeah.
And you occasionally you have a film like this one, that it's the first time I'm having a chance to see it. So maybe I wouldn't ordinarily have picked it on my own. So, thanks again.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you want to link your links, go ahead and do that now. I'll say my farewells for the night. Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember to like, share, can leave comments. The algorithm really likes that, and we like it too. And remember to be excellent to each other and party on. And until next week, I'll see you next week and later tonight in around Leeds unscripted and other side of midnight.
All right.
Now do you delete scenes?
Oh, my equipment is not cooperating with me at the moment.
Oh, bummer.
All
I
right,
hate
hold
when
on.
that happens.
Okay. I'm going to be dropping the links for tonight's shows. All right, the first link is for Unscripted. That's at 8. And the other side of midnight at 12:05. There we go.
There you have it.
All right. For my final words, once again, thank all of you for being here. Thanks to everybody watching the replay. Hit the like, share the stream, say hello in the comments. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so. I am 35 away from 300. So I'd really like to hit 300 by the end of the month. So, all right. From HQ in our second home office in Arizona, good night. Take care. Stay strong because this is how we win.
Good night, folks.